Well, once again, I want to thank the club as far as having such a wonderful forum, give the opportunity for all of us to speak, give you the opportunity to see where we all stand on certain issues. I think that's critical. Okay. What are we talking here about? We're talking about the children have their future at stake here. That's the bottom line. What can you do to make assure the children that they're going to get the most bang for their education? It's crucial right now with the tough times that we're working with, budgets being reduced right and left, and I don't see it getting much better in the near future. So we have to be wiser, sharper in making our decisions, because they are the future of Alameda and every place else. So we've got to think carefully every decision we make. Even though it might seem small at the time, we have to think, how's this going to affect that one, decision. I mean, 2 years ago, we conveyed Miller School back to the Navy. We walked away from Miller School. And I'm on the RAB about the Alameda Point, so there's a lot of things that are questionable about Miller School, I'll tell you. But we kept it open as far as for students. We walked away from it because it was going to cost about $500,000 to bring it up perfectly. That would have covered the cost for a whole year for the district office. We could have moved them right there. But that's what I'm getting at. We have to think about the future. We have to plan accordingly. Our kids deserve it. Thank you very much.
I want to thank the Democratic Club for holding this event. This does also embody democratic principles, having all of us come, asking all these hard questions, giving us an opportunity to share with all of you, and it's being video recorded too, so it's wonderful. Why am I running again? Because we are still leaving children behind. We are still not having every child reach their potential within our schools. We can do more for each of our children that walk through those doors. We must do more. We all know it's a tough job. We have to be fiscally responsible. We've knocked on the community's doors many times. We have to do the best we can with the limited money we have to serve every child. Why should you support me as opposed to any of these other wonderful candidates that we have here? And I'll say, okay, it's my background. I am that child that was successful in public school and was able to become an attorney after years of hard work. I have raised children that are on a good, solid path. Children that started with special needs at Woodstock and Head Start, getting special services. I've hung in there. I've been that person that does everything for our schools, from room parent, noon supervisor. I stepped up and became a substitute when a principal realized that I have a law degree and I'm volunteering at our schools. Had 4 kids in our public schools. Public schools are so important to every child. My family, we strongly support public schools right here. That's why we've done so much. There's just, we have more work to do. It's important that we provide this quality education for all of our students. And I would be honored by your support. I'm fortunate I've been supported by the Alameda Teachers Union, AEA. Classified staff has also supported me. The Democratic Party has also supported me. They ask us tough questions. I was the only, out of all of us, I was the only one that they initially recommended. And when you pull back and you look at all of our decisions we've made, the Democratic Party thought that I should have that endorsement. And, I'm very honored. I'd be honored by your support and your vote. Thank you.
Well, I began my life in the school district as a volunteer in my children's classrooms, and I volunteered in their classrooms for 12 years. And then when they graduated, I thought I was finished. And then my daughter became a teacher, and for 20 years she taught, and I went back for another 20 years. But now I'm finished with that, and now I'm taking the next step and running for the school board. We have to invest our limited resources where they belong, and that's in the classroom and teaching and learning. And I would be committed to use my voice in support of children, in support of urging the board to move in the direction of investing our limited resources where they belong. I will always ask, before every decision is made, I will say, is it good for kids? I am asking for your endorsement. Thank you.
My passion is education. I have a doctorate degree in educational leadership, and I have a son who graduated from Encinal High, who currently is a pretty high-paid engineer at Yahoo. And I am a long-term Alameda resident and a Democrat. If elected as Alameda's school board member, my biggest focus would be to restore and to rebuild your trust in the school board. I will push to resolve contract negotiations between AEA and the school district, which has expired. I will push to increase teachers' salaries equitable with other districts. If elected, I will become the representative of the children's educational needs. I will push to self-monitor the board and superintendent in our actions and decision making to assure that we are representing our stakeholders appropriately. As a board member, I would be an advocate for students, the district's educational programs, and public education. I will fight to keep the schools academically strong. If elected, I will closely monitor budgetary decisions. I will investigate affordability of $550,000 per year administrative office spaces. I will push to find classroom space for important community educational after-school programs, those outreach programs that we seem to have no space for. I will become knowledgeable enough about district efforts to explain them to the public. I will push to continue programs like the boot camp that the AP and honors classes and granting of scholarships, that program. I will push for more programs like that. Vote yes on 30, no on 32, and John Murphy, Trish Spencer, and Barbara for school board. Thank you.
Well, we're almost there. Thank you for staying. In 2008, I promised that I'd be passionate, dedicated, and experienced, and provide leadership. I've delivered on that.
Yes, you did.
My major themes for the district was to increase achievement, create the master plan, and provide equity. We delivered on the master plan, and we've begun implementing it. Student performance is up, second highest in Alameda County over the past few years. We must continue to hold high expectations for our students, staff. We must continue to provide professional development in strategic areas for our teachers and staff. Now, we don't have any furlough days. We're among the smallest student-to-teacher ratios in K-3 in the East Bay by far. As far as leadership, twice I was elected by this board to lead as their president. And through that process, I worked with the entire community to create and pass Measure A. And that increased our funding while facing state budget cuts. We have balanced budgets. We've actually been able to increase the pay of some of our employees that agreed to it as we could. And hopefully, with passing of Proposition 30, we'll be able to have deep discussions in January with our units. So what am I about? I have cards in the back that lead it out, but it's providing rigor, accountability, and implementing the master plan all through an equity lens. So I ask for your endorsement tonight and your vote on November 6th. Thank you.
Well, I could tell you that almost 100 years ago, one of my great-grandfathers came here from China. He was a teacher, but I'm not going to tell you that. And I can also tell you that I'm married to a former teacher, but I'm not going to tell you that either. Well, maybe I will, maybe I won't. One of the things that's really very important here, besides, one other thing I won't tell you is that when I took an early retirement, my wife and I switched, and I became the stay-at-home dad. I do the shopping, I do the running the kids around. I was the classroom parent, but I'm not telling you that either. So, what I am telling you is that when you are electing somebody to serve on any board, you have to elect a proven leader, somebody who's effective, somebody who can lead, somebody who can bring together all of the different parts, get it into action and make it happen, and then keep it happening. Somebody with a big picture, long-term view. The people in Bay Farm that I've worked with a lot already have seen me do that. People who have worked in part of the campaign Measure A have seen me do that too. People in the law enforcement profession, people in the HR profession, many of the people in some of the local public agencies that I've worked for, all have seen me do that. All I'm saying is, give me a chance to do this. I think this is what we really need to have. There isn't a person up here who doesn't love children and want to see the best for them. What you have to ask is, who's going to get the job done? I can get that job done. Vote for me.
And I'll sort of finish, because Neil actually had a John F. Kennedy quote. I actually have another John F. Kennedy quote that I keep above my office. And it's basically, the quote is, one man can make a difference and every man should try. And that's sort of why I'm running for this. This is a time of trying. I have worked very hard within the city. I've been a resident here for since 79. In the late 90s, my wife and I were thinking about moving out of the city and moving down closer to where we work, down in Silicon Valley, moving to Palo Alto and raising a family down there. We came very, very close to making that move. And I said, we can't do it. There's no diversity. This is la-la land down there. We came back. I wanted to raise our family here in Alameda because of the diversity. And I think we got to work on that. This is public education at its best here. We got to work on the equity of education here. We had to eliminate the disparity between East and West in this town. And I also agree with one of the things that Mike Robles-Wong says is, this job takes a vision with proven leadership. My leadership at the PTA Council, my leadership at the Boys and Girls Club, and my leadership in managing large businesses within the high-tech community, I think leads to me doing a very effective job in this board. We're setting a vision, setting the goals, and doing everything for the benefit of our kids to further their education is the most important things. I don't question the motive of anybody here. As Mike said, everybody loves our kids. They want to do the best thing, but I think an opportunity was lost after we passed Measure A, where there was an euphoria in this community that we finally done something really good. And then in the last 2 years, that has diminished. There's things that have just gotten lost in the translation, and I think we need to bring that back with solid leadership to do the right thing for the kids. Thank you. Oh, and vote for me.
I have to say, this has been a really tough 4 years on the school board. I never had so many community and school board meetings compared to being a principal. And my wife and Austin will witness that I'm never home. So board members, be aware of that. I just wanted to share the accomplishment of the school district and how the school board supported. In 2009, the anti-bullying elementary curriculum was approved by the school board. Tracy Johnson, Ron Mooney, and myself. It was a 3-2 vote. Mr. Mooney and I were recalled, and the district was sued. This is the first year. The recall failed, and the district won the lawsuit. My family, and I know that Ron's family, was concerned about our safety. Yes. Because we received so many hate mail. And what I realized is how intolerant some people are. In 2009, the school board approved the district master plan. As you can probably tell, I'm very proud to be part of that creation of that plan. As proposed by the master plan, as Measure A passed. No elementary schools were closed. The school board was extremely proud of this because we knew that the Alameda community felt strongly about neighborhood schools. As a result of Measure A, we have the Magnet School Innovative Program. We have centralized enrollment, which is the goal of the master plan that was implemented this year, and our enrollment increased. As a school board member, I have been proven to be effective. My 4 years on the school board, 10 years as a principal, and 29 years as a teacher provided me with the experience to address critical educational issues. Please,